Hey traders, Chartman here. Today we're looking at RVBR for September 14th, 2011, and this is Market Rate Corp trading on the pink sheets. We're looking at a daily chart. I'm going to show you two charts, and this time I'm going to show you a daily chart, and then we're going to break it down into a more short-term sort of a chart pattern, because basically what we have is not a lot of action over the past several months. You can see May, I don't even believe there were any shares traded prior to May on this particular security. You can see basically it's been trading between 10 cents and 5 cents, kind of going within this sort of a pattern, but on very low volume. You see volume is fairly non-existent. We go for numerous days without any volume trading. So basically this is sort of a channel pattern that the stock is sort of building out. And then you can see that volume started to pick up here around the 22nd, pushed it back up to our resistance at 10 cents, and then of course we came back down again to sell around 5 cents. Now what's really particularly interesting, and is the most interesting aspect of this chart, is that over the past 2 days you can see that volume has just basically exploded. We had close to 500,000 shares traded just today alone, and yesterday we were coming in close to 300,000 shares traded. So generally what that suggests is that there's interest starting to build in this particular stock. One key rule that a lot of technical analysis go by is volume precedes price. So generally what that signals is that volume comes in first and then the price follows after. Now we sort of had that signal back here where we had volume start to come in, but you can see it only lasted a few days and then it tapered off. Here it lasted a few days and it tapered off, and the price never really got a chance to take off. But this time it looks like we're having volume that's starting to increase. So it'll be very interesting to see how tomorrow goes. If we start to see volume hold this 400 to 500 share daily volume, we could really see the price start to take off, and testing 10 cents will be the very first level. Beyond that, we could possibly see our 100-day moving average just above 13 cents and our 200-day moving average at about 18.5 cents as our next two possible resistance areas, because really we don't really have any trading volume prior to this channel range, so all we really have to go off of is the moving averages for any future possible resistance. Let's take a look at a short-term chart. This is a 5-minute chart, and this basically summarizes the last 2 days in trading length. This is September 13th, and you can see that first half of the day wasn't really a lot going on. We had an order that went in here up in the 8 cent area, and then volume really started to pick up here. We can see consecutive buys and sells. Volume really starts to trade, and what we want to also pay attention to is the MACD momentum indicators, and this can give us sort of short-term rising and falling trends. You can see that basically when it's open, it's sort of suggesting there's buying pressure on the stock, pushing the price up, and when they cross over, it signals that the buying pressure ends and we're due to a retrace. So what happens here is you can see that the price goes up to 8.5 cents right at the peak, and then the MACD closes down, signals the run. It's not going to push any higher at this particular point coming into early of today, and then you can see that we start to see some selling pressure come onto the stock. People start taking profits from yesterday's volume. You can see the MACD lines cross down, and they are giving us basically sort of a sell signal or consolidation pattern. You can see the price has a dip to 5 cents, and you can see it's starting to creep back up here. We closed right around 6.5 cents. And so what is interesting to see here is the MACD lines here at the very end of the day, just after 3 o'clock, they crossed over to the upside again. That can signal that we're going to see a renewed buying pressure come back in. This is a buy signal here on the short term for the 5-minute type chart. And if we start to see, you can see that right at the end of the day, we were very low volume here for about an hour, and then the last part of the day really had volume start to pick back up again. And if we can see that increase, we should very easily at the least have a run back up to the 8.5 to 10 cent resistance area. And of course, if we can break that level, then certainly we can see more running pressure from there. Any other possible resistance areas that we could possibly see in the intraday are around 7 cents. You can see that it was a resistance here, and so basically we may see some resistance up again in the 7 cent area. Also a lot of support here. You can see some ticks traded around the 6 cent area, so I'm going to put a support up in here. And of course our main support level that we've held for a very long time is that 5 cent level right here. Very unlikely we're going to see any prices below that, particularly with the new attention and increased volume that we're starting to see just over the last 2 trading days. So it should be very interesting going forward. If we can maintain that volume, we should get a really healthy run. And as I mentioned, most important thing is volume precedes price. We've got the volume coming in. We should be watching for a break of the resistance around the 8.5 to 10 cent area, and we could see a really nice run develop. So keep in mind, I'm not an investment advisor, and so don't use any of my charts for buy or sell signals. Until next time, thanks for watching and happy trading.